Okay, it's still so weird getting used to talking in front of a camera, talking by myself. Anyways, I thought it would be fun for me to sit here and give you a couple of story times. Not even really story times, just like thoughts, trains of thoughts in my head, ideas where in the end, I had to sit back and look back at myself like, yo, okay, you need to chill out a little bit. Like, you're kind of crazy, low key. Obviously, some of them are kind of minor, like, I remember when I was a kid, like I used to throw rocks at cars driving by. I don't know why I did that shit, and I never was with it. Like, I never wanted smoke for real. Like, I was a scaredy cat kid growing up, so I don't know why I was doing weird shit like that. But yeah, throwing rocks at cars when I was a kid. I used to cry over my grades heavy. Like, if I had one C, I would be like, this would be me in class. Drama queen as fuck, like, ugh. And it's crazy because I actually hate attention, but the C would have me down bad. And my friends, whenever they walked in class and saw me like this, they already know what it was. They already know, oh, she probably like got a D or a C or something. And it's crazy because now I'm in college and like I couldn't care less about my grades now. But it makes no sense because college, I would assume that's where grades are actually more important than fucking high school. In high school, everyone failed and they still graduated. So I was really stressing over nothing in high school. Now I'm in college and if I get a C, I'm like, whoa, at least I passed. Another minor thing, but this might just also be like a 20-year-old thing. Like, I don't know if I love myself or if I hate myself. It's like days where I really talk down on myself for real. Like, I'm like, yo, you're lazy, you're this, you're that, and this. But it's like, then there's other days where it's like, bro, there's no one out here like you. Like, you're actually mad special. If you put your mind to things, you could actually do it. I really feel like if I put my mind to anything and I really work at it hard enough, I can do whatever I want. Nothing is out of this world. If I want to run for president and put my mind to it, I will be president. I really feel that way. I feel like everyone should feel that way. But it's so crazy because in the same breath, I'll be like, you're so stupid, you're so incompetent, you're so behind everyone else, lazy, this and that. So it's like, I really don't know if I love myself or hate myself. Okay, but that's enough of me dumping on you guys about like the fucking mental illnesses I might have. So when I was in elementary school, I was a little bitch. Like, people were able to push me around, people were able to say things to me and I would take it to the heart. I was like a little pussy, like, oh my gosh. I would get bullied and people would talk about me and nobody would, like, I didn't tell anyone. I never told teachers. I never told my parents. My friends probably knew, but elementary school, like, are your friends really your real friends for real? They definitely heard shit, saw shit, didn't do anything or whatever. And I wasn't getting bullied like crazy. People just made fun of my skin tone a lot. I was always the darkest girl in the room. That was one thing. I was quiet. Still am kind of quiet. What else? I was a little bit chubbier. So all of that is just not a good mix. There's this one girl who tormented the fuck out of me. And I'm gonna call her Julie. Yeah, let's just call her Julie. But anyways, Julie, she tormented the hell out of me. And Julie was like one of the most hated girls in the school. So I don't know why I wasn't able to stand up to her because people would have had my back if I tried to drag her because a lot of people hated Julie. But I just let it be, She used to torment the hell out of me. She tormented other people too. But me, it was really bad because I was always quiet. Like I didn't know how to stand up for myself. But anyways, one time I remember I was in recess and I saw my little cousin in like a little like, I don't know what was going on. Like I didn't know if she was getting jumped. I didn't know if they were play fighting, but I ran over there like, because I'm gonna help her. Like, she's my cousin. Like, I'm not gonna watch you get jumped and shit. So I ran over there. I was trying to figure out what was going on. She was getting tormented by Julie. Like, Julie was on her ass too. And there's like a whole bunch of girls there. I don't even know what was going on, bro. I think they were all trying to stop it too. But I remember getting in the mix and it was just a bunch of pushing and shoving and a bunch of girls. Like, we're like in 3rd grade. Somebody had pushed Julie and Julie turned around and she thought it was me. This weird ass, like, she was so weird. She literally looked at me and she went, like the most elementary school shit ever. Like when kids used to scream to themselves like, oh, she basically did that. She's like, oh, put her fingers in my mouth and scraped like my gums and all that shit. I was like, and I had never been physically bullied before. Like whenever people were mean to me, they only said things to me, but no one ever punched me, no one ever pushed me, no one ever like laid hands on me. This is the first time anyone has ever put hands on me. She scraped my gum, like my shit was bleeding. All the girls saw what happened, but I didn't do anything back. I don't, like, it's kind of a fog. This happened when I was in 3rd grade. This was a long time ago. I remember being in the nurse And the nurse asked me what happened. And I was like, yo, should I tell her like that this girl really scraped my gum? But then I was like, you know what? This girl, she's like really icky to me. I think I should just ruin her life real quick. Not literally ruin her life, but I was like, I got punched in the face. I don't know why, but I felt like getting punched in the face was more dramatic than like getting scratched in your mouth or whatever. I just wanted her to get into the most trouble possible, and I wasn't even thinking that there were other witnesses around that could be like, no, that's not what happened. But I was like, yeah, she punched me in the face. I can't believe I even said it. I didn't even want to say it because I knew that my mom would throw a fit and like it would be such a big deal, and I really didn't want to bring any attention and shit like that. But that's exactly what happened. She called my mom and she called Julie's mom, and they were both in the foyer and they were both going at each other. My mom was like really going in, like, you hit my daughter, this, that, screaming at her mom, your daughter hit my daughter, this and that, like threatening her and just making a whole scene, which I hated so much. But the whole time I remember Julie was sitting there and she was crying and she was like, I didn't punch her. I didn't punch her. And it's so crazy because like there were witnesses and they all had my back. They was like, yeah, she punched her. She did not punch me, bro. She literally scratched me in my mouth, which is still weird. Like, I don't know why you're putting your fingers in other people's mouth, but yeah, all the girls around there, they had my back. They was like, yeah, she punched her. And I remember this was like such a big deal. Like, this was like the tea of the school. This was like the tea, bro. Like, people were like, yo, like, how could you punch? Like, I was bullied, but a lot of people I felt like pitied me. Like, how could you, the helpless girl, why would you punch the quiet, helpless, chubby, super black girl who probably hates herself? Why would you hit her? I mean, I don't think they were thinking that deep into it because we're all elementary schools, but some people really pitied me probably. We're like, wow, like you're gonna punch her of all people? Because Julie had mad beef with other people. So it was like, you're gonna punch her? Like, you know she wasn't gonna do shit. It was basically one of that. But yeah, I can't believe I lied about that. I just recently told my sister that I lied about that, and she was like, what the fuck, like why? But yeah, she got in more trouble than I feel like would have happened if I had just admitted that she scratched me. But maybe not, because she's still putting her hands on me, and like I was actually bleeding. I was actually hurt for real. So that one's not that big of a deal. I don't know. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw this girl. She like basically had a mini story time about how she stayed up for 3 days straight and then she saw a whole bunch of hallucinations, like crazy shit. And I was like, it reminded me of the Russian sleep experiment, which went horribly wrong. And for those of you who don't know what the Russian sleep experiment is, I'ma just like give you a short overview. During the Cold War, the Soviet military offered like war prisoners, like a chance of freedom as long as they were able to participate in this sleep experiment. The experiment was basically like recording like their actions and shit like that if they were to stay up for 14 days. So basically they were forced to stay up for 14 days straight, no sleep at all. And basically this shit just went horribly wrong. Like the inmates started trying to kill each other, trying to kill themselves, or mutilating themselves, obviously hallucinating and stuff. It just went really bad to the point where it was seen as unethical. What's really crazy about the story, like you can look it up, no one knows if it's actually real or not. I feel like this shit was actually real, but they're trying to cover it up and trying to make it seem like a creepypasta thing because obviously the experiment is unethical. Humans can't stay up for 14 days straight of no sleep. Like that's not, like, what? Like the prisoners gone mad and none of them survived. None of them survived the 14 days. So yeah, but yeah, still to this day people don't know if this was actually a real experiment or not. I think it was a real experiment. But anyways, yeah, this girl on TikTok, she was talking about how she stayed up for 3 days straight and she started hallucinating. So I automatically thought about the Russian sleep experiment, but I also thought about Sigmund Freud's interpretation of dreams. His interpretation of dreams was that they uncovered like your subconscious desires and motivations. Like everything you want is in your dreams. Everything you're avoiding is in your dreams. Things you don't even know about yourself, you'll learn about in your dreams and stuff. So he basically felt like the dreams was like the gate to the subconscious and all that. Things that you're not even consciously aware of. Like for example, I might secretly hate my mother. Not really. But my dreams, I don't hate my mom. But like, what if my dreams had a way of telling me that I actually did hate my mom. But I would never ever know consciously that I did hate my mom. You know, that type of shit. Or that I actually really want to kill someone. But I would never know consciously. But my dreams would hint at that shit. Is basically what he was trying to get at, like hallucinations, all that shit. So I was like, you know what? What if I actually tried to stay up for 3 days straight, no sleep, and get those hallucinations? I bet those hallucinations would tell me things about myself that I don't know. And you guys, I was seriously considering this. Like, I really was like, okay, I need to pick out like the perfect 3 days. Like, I obviously can't be doing anything in those 3 days. I need to lock myself in my room because I don't want to be around anyone those 3 days too. I need to have all the food, all the supplies, you know, get right, you know, and stay up for 3 days, basically. I really want to know what my subconscious wants, like things that I don't know consciously, things I'm not even aware that I want. I really want to get down to it. And it's like some people use hypnosis to get to those, and some people like dream journals and stuff, and then they'll see an interpreter. But I don't believe in interpreters and stuff like that. I really want to see this shit for myself. I want to see if I stay up for 3 days, what am I going to see? And what am I going to learn about myself? I don't know. It's kind of crazy though. It is crazy. My friends had to talk me out of doing it, which like good thing they actually did. It's not completely out of my mind. Like, I definitely want to do something like that one day. Maybe someone will let me like use them as a guinea pig for it, but no one will. So that's why I'm better off doing it on my own. I want to do experiments and shit like that. Like in the near future, I want to be able to do crazy experiments and realize shit like that. Like I'm in the psychology field, so this shit kind of interests me. Like I want to know like my deep desires that I don't even know about. Maybe I'll like learn a lot about myself. Who knows? It is kind of crazy though. I had to like, well, like, you're kind of nuts though for doing it. I was actually contemplating this for real. But on the opposite end of that, I read this book called My Year of Rest and Relaxation, and it's about this like rich, beautiful girl. Both of her parents are deceased, and she's like basically super depressed, and she decides to spend a whole year asleep. She takes as many sleeping pills as she can so that she's not awake at all. And I was reading this book and like, I don't know why, but I really wanted to do this. I say this all the time, but like sleep is like the best part of the day for me. I don't know why I love to be asleep. It's just so much easier. Everything's so much easier when you're gone for that period of time, which is kind of depressing now that I think about it. But yeah, I was like, yo, I could actually do this but I can't do this now because like obviously I have things to do. Like I'm a student, I have my parents, they'll be concerned. But I was like, okay, one day when I have it all together, when I have like, you know, my own apartment, it's like summertime and my parents won't be on my ass as much because I'm a little bit older, I should do this. Like I should try and like spend like a week completely asleep because I really love sleep. So yeah, I also felt like I was able to relate with the character a lot, so I wanted to be her as much as possible. I do this a lot. Like I take influence from like a lot of shit I read. I'm so easily influenced. That's like so I had to put this in the video. Like, come on girl, like why did you want to do that? Like I still kind of want to do that. Like I still want to stay awake for a period of time, and then I want to be asleep for a period of time. But I can't be messing with my body like that. Like you really shouldn't, but no one will be my guinea pig, so I can only do these things on my own. But anyways, yeah, that was just a compilation of like all the thoughts and like ideas and mini story times of like times I had to look back and be like, maybe you're not fully okay up here, like maybe there's something a little bit wrong. But it's in all of us, right? We all have crazy ideas. A lot of people just won't say them. Like my friends that were looking at me weird when I was telling them about all these sleeping experiments, they were all looking at me like, what the fuck, like why are you trying to do this shit? But I bet deep down they've had crazy ideas like this too. No one has ever had, they just don't have the gall to say it out loud, which I'm learning now to just keep a lot of these things to myself, which is kind of contradicting because I just told the internet. But anyways, from now on, when I have these crazy ideas, I'm just gonna do them, like I'm just gonna keep them to myself because I don't even want to look at like I'm crazy. So yeah, thanks for listening. Watch the video before this and the one before that and the one before that. Okay, bye.